I could not let them have so much fun at my expense, he says. I made up my mind to go to bed. So ultimately, nothing happened. Now he was sure nothing was going to happen. So he made up his mind to go to bed. But the bed was particularly suspicious looking. Now when he goes to the bed, he thinks that if he jumps into bed, suddenly there will be a shower of water or something falling on him and they will make fun of him again. Okay? He is still wondering that he could be taken by surprise. All the same, it says, there was danger. There must be. Perhaps I was not going to receive a cold shower from overhead. Or perhaps the moment I stretched myself out, I would find myself sinking to the floor with the mattress. I searched in my memory for all the practical jokes I had ever experienced. And I did not want to be caught. Certainly not. Certainly not. So he is very, very doubtful about his friends as to what jokes are they going to crack on him. And so he takes all precautions for them not to laugh at him. Then all of a sudden he gets an idea. Says, then I suddenly thought of a precaution which could ensure my safety. Now he wants to play it very, very safe. So he doesn't want to climb onto the bed. He says, I caught hold of the side of the mattress carefully and very slowly drew it towards me. It came away, followed by the sheet and the rest of the bedclothes. I dragged all these objects into the very middle of the room, facing the door. There, at some distance from the bedstead that I could not trust, and the corner which had filled me with such anxiety, I made my bed all over again as well as I could. So what does he do? He very slowly pulls the mattress without making much noise. He brings that mattress close to the door, leaves it next to his door. He leaves the mattress next to the door, takes all the bed sheet, he makes himself a nice bed over here, and then he is about to go to sleep. Fine. Now he was comfortable. He had made himself a bed. He was not sure about the bed that he was to sleep in, so he does not sleep on it. He comes down this side, makes his bed on the floor, and he put out all the candles and slowly finds his way to his bed on the floor. And then he says, I slipped under the bedclothes. So he pulled his bed sheet over himself and he is fast asleep now. For at least another hour, he says, I remained awake. So he's still doubtful about his friends making fun of him. Starting at the slightest sound, it says. Now, every little sound that he could hear, he was very, very aware of his surroundings. Everything seemed quiet in the house. And so, ultimately, he fell asleep. I must have been in a deep sleep, he says, for a long time. All of a sudden, I was awakened with a start by a heavy body tumbling down right on top of me. At the same time, I received on my face, my neck and my chest a burning liquid which made me utter a howl of pain. Now he says the moment he thought that he had fallen asleep, he must have slept for quite a few hours before all of a sudden something heavy came and fell on him. And he felt a burning pain on his face and down his neck and chest. Something hot was dropped on him. And a dreadful noise as if a sideboard laden with plates and dishes had fallen down almost deafened me. And the cups, the saucers and other plates that fell just beside him, on the floor beside his bed. It was such a deafening noise to his ears, he says, it almost deafened him. The weight that had fallen upon me was crushing me and preventing me from moving. I was getting smothered beneath it. He says the weight, the heavy body that had fallen on him while he was asleep on that mattress on the floor, it kind of pressed him down so badly he was finding it difficult to breathe. I stretched out my hand to find out what was the nature of this object. So, in the dark, what does he do? He moves his hand to see and feel what was it that fell on him so heavy. I felt a face, a nose, and whiskers. What does he feel? He felt a person's face, he caught that person's nose and his whiskers. Okay? And with all my strength, I struck a blow at this face. With all his strength, what did he do? He hit that face that had fallen on him. But I immediately received a shower of slaps which made me jump straight out of the soaked sheets. And the moment he had punched that face, in return, he received a shower of slaps. The person who had fallen, in fact, slapped him. And so, the moment that person started slapping him, the author just got up and ran from there. He ran out of the bed. Okay, his bed sheet was absolutely soaked in something that had fallen on him. The door of the room was open. I rushed into the corridor in my nightshirt. In his night clothes only, he says, he moved into the corridor. Oh heavens! It was broad daylight. So the moment he goes out, he sees that it is morning. It's bright all over. The noise brought my friends hurrying to the spot, and all that noise and chaos that happened brought all his friends close where he was. As I looked into the room with them, now with all his friends, he comes to peep into the room to see what had happened actually. I found lying on my impoverished bed a dismayed valet. The person who was in charge, who was supposed to give him his breakfast, okay, and bring him tea in bed, had actually come to see him, and that man was now fallen on that mattress which he had put in the middle of the room. So he says, I found on my impoverished bed a dismayed valet. While bringing me my morning cup of tea, he had tripped over this unexpected bed in the middle of the floor and fallen on his stomach. So this man had tripped on that mattress that was in the middle of the floor. Where was the mattress supposed to be? It was supposed to be kept on the bed. But this boy, the narrator here, wanted his friends not to laugh at him. So what did he do? He brought the mattress on the floor. And that was what created all the problem. Now, this made this valet who had come to give him his breakfast, tripped on the mattress, fell on him, dropped his hot tea over him, the narrator, and his breakfast had fallen on the ground, making a crashing noise, which brought the whole household close to the narrator's room. So he says, spilling this person had fallen on his stomach, spilling all his breakfast over his face. I had taken many precautions by closing the shutters and going to sleep in the middle of the room. Now the narrator says he took all precautions possible so that his friends could not play a joke on him, could not play a prank on him. But ultimately, he was so cautious that he himself had created himself a problem by putting that mattress in the middle of the room. And then, but those, it says, very precautions that he had taken had brought about the practical joke I had been trying to avoid. Oh, how they all laughed that day. So ultimately what we see is this person was so overcautious that he had brought about a practical joke on himself. And that's what your story is all about. So we should never, think too much about it, about anything. Wait and see. Face your situations head on. Let things happen before you react. You can't afford to react before things have actually happened. That is what happens out here. The narrator is so cautious that his friends would make fun of him that he himself puts himself into trouble by putting that mattress in the middle of the room. So anyway, this is your lesson for today. And what I want you people to do is I want you to read through it nicely. Write down all the meanings in your exercise copy. Definitely you have books, you have exercise copies. Make one copy for literature, and in that exercise copy, write the name of the chapter, all the meanings that you have in the book. I want them written in the copy, rewritten again and learnt. And besides the meanings already given, if you have come across any difficult words, make sure that all those difficult words are underlined in your book. Search out for the meanings and please write them down in your copies and learn them. Okay? So that's all for the first class today. In the next class, we will be doing the question and answers. We will do it. I will write it for you on the board and we will see further on. So the next class, we will do all the exercises given here. Thank you so much.